Hello everyone, it's me Uncle John. Today I am going to read S66027, Arthur Rocks with Binky, Chapter 6. That night, Arthur sat in his room staring into the distance. His father stopped in the doorway. Want to help me with the job tomorrow night? Arthur looked up. What about the concert? We have to get there early. It'll take forever to get to row ZZZ. This won't take long, Mr. Reed paused. I'm catering dinner for the crew working at the Civic Auditorium. Arthur frowned. But that's where we're going for the concert. Mr. Reed tried to look surprised. Why? That's right. Of course, we can't be out front then. We'll have to be backstage. The Binky crew won't eat anywhere else. Arthur gasped. The Binky crew? You? Me? Backstage? I get to go backstage? His father burst out laughing. Yes, you do. And when I told the crew my son was such a big fan of the group, they said you could meet Binky if you want. If I want? If I want? Arthur was jumping around the room. Mr. Reed cleared his throat. Well, nobody will force you. Arthur sighed dreamily. I'm going to meet Binky. Binky's manager, Sban Smith, took Arthur's hand and pulled him forward. Flash bulbs were going off all around them. Reporters were shouting out questions in front of a cheering wall of fans. This is Arthur Reed, said Spawn. Very special boy from Elwood City, here to meet Binky. Hi, Arthur said shyly. Hi yourself, said Nero. Want to go for a ride? They all piled into the official Binky limousine. Even with the group's instrument, there was plenty of room. Arthur sat in the back, eating cookies and singing. Suddenly the chauffeur fainted. The limo veered wildly from one side of the road to the other. Everyone panicked, but Arthur, I'll save you, he cried. Arthur grabbed the French horn and a rope. He tied one end of the rope to the horn and the other to the armrest. Then he threw the horn out the window. It wrapped around the telephone pole, bringing the remote to a stop right at the edge of a cliff. Everyone piled out. You saved our lives, said Inga. Arthur, you're like the brother we never had, said Nero. Come, lurch with us, said Kyra. So off they went to play in the snow. Arthur sat in his room smiling. His father was still there. You can bring your friends too, said Mr. Reed. I'm sure they would like to meet Binky too. Really? That's great. Wait until I tell them. Arthur headed for the hall. He was going to call Buster first. He picked up the phone and started dialing. Arthur was meeting Binky again outside the limo. But the blah 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 were with him. My, there's quite a lot of you. Like we would take you for a ride, but you don't all fit. He tossed the kids some Binky Bow toys, but at least you can have some souvenirs. The group got into the car and drove off. Wait, you need me to save you, and what about playing in the snow? Arthur put down the phone. Was kind of late, and Buster might be asleep, really busy something. Maybe one call just yet, he decided. Chapter 7. At school the next day, Arthur looked for a spot to park his bike. Over here, said Francine. I've saved you a space. Wasn't easy. The brain added. That's a very popular space, but Francine insisted we hold it for you. Naturally, said Francine, friends should look out for each other. Don't you think? Sure, said Arthur. Buster came paddling up to them. He looked a bit discouraged. One more day. Then the concert. I'm still trying to get my mother to interview Binky. Maybe the entertainment reporter will be sick or something. If that happens, I'll get to go. I hope it works out, said Arthur. You should, because where I go, you all go, said Buster. Arthur turned red. Thanks, Buster. It's nice of you to think of us. Buster shrugged. Friends, you should stick together, he said when Arthur went inside. Binky called out to him in the hall. Hey, Arthur, wait up. Binky sounded excited or mad. Sometimes it was hard to tell the difference. I've been looking for you, said Binky. You have? When Binky went looking for someone, it was usually not a good sign. You know how the radio station got me in trouble? When the staff wrote the Binky name on everything? Arthur remembered. It was the first time he had ever heard of Binky. a historic that as far as he was concerned, well, the people at the radio station still felt bad about all that confusion, so they sent me 3 tickets. And since I hear your city is on the moon or somewhere, I thought you might like to sit with my mom and me. Really? Said Arthur. Gee, thanks. No problem. I'm not allowed to sell the ticket anyway. Besides, I know you'd do the same for me. Oh, sure. Arthur hesitated. You know, Pinky, it's possible that you could. While Arthur was again standing outside the limo, Tom with Pinky beside him. Pinky, this is Pinky and Pinky and Pinky and Pinky. Have I forgotten anyone? Oh, yes. This is Arthur. Your name is Pinky, said Nero. Pinky nodded. Thank you. Then you have to come with us. It must be fate. Pinky and Pinky climbed into the limo. When Arthur wanted to climb in after them, he was turned away. Sorry, no more room, said Kyra. The limo pulled away, leaving Arthur staring after it. What about me? Arthur shouted. What about me? Hello, Arthur. I've been standing here forever waiting for you to finish your sentence. You have? You were right in the middle of telling me something that I could do. Oh, your homework, I said quickly. I was thinking you could do your homework, that is, if you haven't done it already, which you probably have, but if you haven't, I'd be glad to help. Pinky scratched his head. I think I'm all set for now, thanks. Okay then, I think I hear Mr. Rappan calling me. I don't hear anything. You really should pay more attention, said Arthur. I'd better go see what he wants. See you later. Chapter 8. On the night of the concert, Arthur helped his father prepare the trays of food for Binky's crew. Well, tonight is the big night, said Mr. Reed. He sure is, but he didn't feel quite as happy about it as he thought he would. What kind of plans did you make with your friends? Asked his father. You know, the security guards won't let them backstage unless I'm with them. Arthur felt a little uncomfortable. Actually, he felt more than a little uncomfortable. He felt a lot uncomfortable. Well, we didn't really discuss it. You didn't? You mean you didn't tell them? It seems so complicated then. I thought the whole thing might get out of control. I see. Maybe you also decided to keep Binky to yourself? Arthur looked at the ground. It's your decision, Arthur, said his father, picking up the tray again. But sometimes when you keep things to yourself, you end up with less than you expected. When Arthur and his dad got to the civic auditorium, they had to pass an army of security guards. However, Mr. Reed had a proper pass, which he wore around his neck. The delicious-smelling food seemed to help too. All around them, the crew was setting up lights and speakers for that night's performance. Mr. Reed and Arthur were led to a room where a long table was set up. There were some chairs along the wall too. The room was called the green room, although Arthur couldn't see anything green in it. Uncovered the food, he handed a plastic wrap to Arthur. Can you throw this away for me? Arthur looked around for a trash can. He saw a shiny silver one and tossed the wrappers inside. Watch out there. Arthur jumped back as 2 stagehands rolled some equipment past him. Arthur, his father came up behind him with 2 strangers. I want you to meet Winston and Svan. Winston is in charge of technical stuff here. Svan is Binky's manager. Svan and Winston said hi to Arthur and shook his hand. Arthur is very excited about meeting the group, said Mr. Rick. Great. We'll have them up and running in 15 minutes. They hurried out. Arthur frowned. That was odd. They made Binky sound like some kind of a machine. Arthur hoped Sponge didn't talk that way in front of the group. It might hurt the feeling. As Mr. Reed unloaded the food tray, Arthur collected the trash and emptied it into the silver cylinder. Then he snuck out to the stage and peeked out from behind the curtain. Kids were still pouring into the auditorium. Everyone was talking and having fun. Arthur spotted the whole gang. Francine, Mrs. Fransky, the brain buster, Binky and Mrs. Bond. Sitting in the front section, Arthur felt a pang of guilt when he saw the empty seat next to Binky. Arthur went back to the green room and plopped down in a chair. His father gave him a look. What's wrong, Arthur? All my friends are here. They are sitting together in the audience. Oh, well. So, are you excited about meeting Binky? I guess so. I thought I would like it better alone, but I was wrong. It'd be more fun to share the excitement. His father smiled. I'm glad you were able to realize that on your own. As long as that's okay, why not do something about it? Chapter 9. Francine and Buster were craning their necks toward the back row. I don't see him, said Francine. I knew I should I should have bought binoculars, said Buster. He shouldn't be back there anyway. Binky, I'm saving a seat for him. Arthur wouldn't forget a thing like that, said the brain. He likes Binky more than any of us. He would want to get as close as he could. Maybe he got confused, said Francine. Or swept away by the crowd, said Prunella. If I had a little more room, said, I would have checked his chart again. Hi, guys. They all turned to see Arthur and his father coming up the aisle. Come with us, Arthur said mysteriously. I have a surprise for you. But Arthur, the concert is going to start pretty soon. Trust me, said Arthur. You don't want to miss this. They followed him backstage, where Saban and Winston were working at the computer console. The kids looked around in awe. That Trackley by 2000, said the brain, pointing to the console. It's a very sophisticated piece of equipment. I read about it in the holographics today. Saban moved the lever on the computer. Binky is ready, he announced. As the stage lights came on behind the closed curtain, the four members of Binky appeared by the instrument. Where did they come from? They weren't here a minute ago, whispered. Maybe they get some special kind of training so they can sneak past the fan. Arthur was amazed too. One moment Binky hadn't been there, and the next moment they were. He stopped up to Kyra. I'm Arthur Reed, and these are my friends, Francine, Butter, Brain, blah, blah, blah. We're very excited to meet you. Kyra didn't react. She just stood there, staring into space. Arthur swallowed nervously. Had he said the wrong thing somehow? He reached out to shake her hand. His arm went right through her. Whoa, said Binky. Did you see that? Said Francine. Buster rubbed his eyes. Most illuminating, said the brain. Saban stepped forward. That's okay, really. You see, the members of Binky aren't real. They are holograms. Arthur gaped at him. I create the image on Trackley by 2000, Saban explained. Winston makes the music, not by myself, Winston added. I have created a super music synthesizer. He pointed to a big silver cylinder. Arthur blinked. It looked very familiar. Winston took a cable and connected the cylinder to Saban's computer. We combined my music with Saban's images and wow, boila Binky. Saban pressed the button, and the group started to move and sing. But the mouse didn't match up with the music. Then Bjorn got stuck on one note that he kept singing over and over again. What's going on? Asked Saban. Winston popped open the top of the cylinder. He pulled out a piece of soggy plastic wrap. I think I found the problem. Saban peered at the garbage in the super music synthesizer. Where did all this come from? Oops. I think I did that. I thought it was a trash can. Winston started to laugh. You know, I never saw the resemblance till now. He took the trash out and wiped out the inside. Good as new, he said. Arthur was relieved. So was everyone. Saban glanced at his watch. Hey, it's almost showtime. You kids better head back out front or you're going to miss it. They all hurried to their seat. So said Mrs. Fransky, did you all get to meet Binky? Francine hollered. I guess so. Arthur got the clothes, but they didn't shake his hand, said Buster. I'm sure they just had a lot to think about. Said it was probably hard for them to give you their full attention, I'd say. The others just smiled. Arthur didn't say anything. Well, I like Binky better this way, said Binky. You do? Said Buster. Why? Because this way I don't have to share my name with real people. Mrs. Barnes and Mrs. Fransky looked mystified, but the others laughed. The Trackley by 2000 is more powerful than I thought, said the brain. It sure makes me look at celebrities in a whole new way. Arthur nodded. He didn't share the brain's interest in machines, but he knew one thing for sure. He would take real friends over a make-believe group any day. Ooh, as the lights went down, curtain was pulled back, revealing Bjorn, Inga, Nero, and Kyra in place with the instrument. Binky was ready to go. The audience went wild. At first, Arthur sat still while the others bounced in the seat, still getting used to the idea that the members of Binky were an illusion, but gradually he found his feet tapping with the music. Then his arms began to move, and his shoulders too. Binky might not be real, but they still rocked. The end.